Oh yeah.
Yep. Cool. I don't want to build field pressure because I don't want it to start. But dope. So I'm gonna unplug this now. Good. Cool.
It works.
Yes, it does. Gentlemen, we jumped right into it today. This little motor is ready to start. Almost. As you guys saw there, we went ahead and did pretty much everything. We finished the wiring, installed the brake booster, the brake master cylinder. We installed the radiator, made a new mount for the intercooler. The intercooler's in. The cold side of the intercooler piping is on. The hot side of the intercooler piping is not on. Fuel lines are connected. The new Dishworks fuel pump is installed. Radiator lines are in. Hose clamps are on everything. Vacuum lines are run. Boost controller is mounted and plumbed up. Everything is on. Pretty much everything is on. Unfortunately, things do now look a little more cluttered, and our attempt at making this engine bay look super nice was kind of a failure, but it looks clean and new. Even though there's things going on everywhere, it looks good. But now we are ready to start it, pretty much. Before we start it, we have to go ahead and set ignition timing. After messing with the cam sensor, putting a new engine in, the ECU does not know where top dead center is on this engine. So we're gonna have to crank it, use a timing light, and set ignition timing. Then we're gonna have to change some other things in the ECU, injector size, and then we're ready to plug the fuel pump in and get it started. Now the first start and the braking process is gonna happen on 93 octane because the tune's already good for it. Once the motor is broken in, I'll drain all the 93 out of it, then put some E85 in, and then I can mess with the tune and not have to worry about breaking the motor in, making sure that's all good. But without any further ado, let's set ignition timing, set the injector size, do all that crap, and get this thing running. I'm so excited. Timer light said that we were roughly 6 degrees too retarded, so we have to advance the timing 6-ish degrees. Let's retard it 4 degrees. So I changed it, so I retarded it 4 degrees, or no, I advanced it 4 degrees, that's what I did, because it was too retarded. All right, so then I do burn, it burns, and now we test it again. Base timing is set, it was almost perfect. We just had to adjust a little bit. Now I gotta mess with fuel injector size. Woohoo! I really do want to teach myself how to actually tune it, not just set it up so it can idle, but actually, full throttle tunes. But this is not the car to do it on. High compression turbo, it's not a good car to learn how to tune on. All right, adjusted that setting. I'm not exactly sure how accurate it was, just because the ECU this entire time has thought this was a 2-liter. So I guess the guy who tuned it didn't change that setting, but I kept it as thinking it was a 2-liter. I think that's the best bet, but we can go ahead and start it. Now, pretty much braking procedures pretty chill on this motor. We're gonna start it, we're gonna keep it at 2,000 RPMs until it warms up, then we're gonna shut it off, then we're gonna change the oil, and that's pretty much it. We had a little bit of a coolant leak on the heater hose because when I took them off, I dented them, and then the stock clamps just weren't strong enough to fill in the dent. So I put some hose clamps on it. Doesn't seem to be leaking now, but of course there's no pressure in the system. So I think we're ready to start it. I'm gonna start it. I'll turn it off if it doesn't look like it's running right, but if it's looking like it can run, it's right, then we'll just let it warm up. right, I think I figured it out. Kind of. We're gonna let the fans cool the engine down, and then we'll shut it off, and then do an oil change. Now that the built motor has ran, and we've checked everything, there's no leaks, the tune is good, and the initial break-in is completed, we can go ahead and change the oil, flush out all the dirty oil from the break-in, and then put in new fresh oil. And we can also go ahead and throw in some ethanol, well, drain the 93 out of the tank first, then throw in some ethanol, and then tune it yet again. The reason why we didn't throw in ethanol right away was because we had to make sure the tune was right, and it would have been, for me, a lot of trial and error to get the tune right on ethanol, and we don't want to do that while we're trying to break in the motor. So it ran perfect on the old, it ran perfect on 93 on the old tune. Now that it's broken in, we don't have to worry about the AFRs and the tune as much, so we can put ethanol in. While the motor cools down after it running, I'm gonna go ahead, during the 93, throw in some ethanol and start working on that. Looks like we have, oh, I have to cycle it, okay. 64% ethanol, that's not that great, man. Big bra moment. That's all right, we only have 4 gallons in there, so we'll make sure we get some good ethanol before we tune it, or dyno it. But 64% is better than 5. Oil change is done. For being a motor that just got broken in, this is incredibly clean. There's hardly any metal shavings in here. For instance, when we did the Subaru, there was a lot of just sparkle to the oil, but this is pretty perfect. So that's awesome. Almost is like weird. Gonna go ahead and put on this side intercooler piping, then we can do the tuning. So when you put a car on ethanol, you have to inject about 35% more fuel in order to get the same air-fuel ratio, which is why when you do E85, you need bigger injectors, blah, 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 blah. If I just tried to run it right now, it would run really, really lean, and it probably wouldn't run at all. So we just have to up the fuel table by about 35% everywhere, and it should be good. Thankfully, there is a setting on the ECU that you can just scale the entire thing by a certain percentage. So I just scaled the entire fuel table by 35%. Let's see what happens. Running good, but she's rich. So, yeah, I'm a tuner now. I'm a pro tuner. So I'm gonna go back to the fuel table, select the entire thing. It smells like E85, yes! It's the favorite part. All right, I'm just gonna do like 0.98. All right, let's see if that helps. but it's better. It's like an entire AFR better. And we also have not super strong ethanol in here, so it might be good just to leave it here. So we get stronger ethanol, it will be a little bit leaner. I did it! That was really easy. This thing is running mint, dude. Oh yeah, that turbo's blowing some air. Sounds better. Oh yeah. This thing's making 60 PSI of oil pressure at idle, which is awesome. That stage 1 oil pump is doing its work. Sounds great. She smells great too. Man, I love having 85 cars. Running really, really well. See if it'll try to lower the RPM for the idle a little bit. All right, tune's a little off still. Love it. I'm doing the outro. Go ahead. Go quickly though. Pasha's destroying his coil pack. He's gonna have to buy another one because he screwed it up and cut it in half. Oh, or not. Never mind. How's the weather there, guys? How you doing? Oh, are you done? Ladies and gentlemen, today was a huge success. The built 1.6 is now in, it's running, it's broken in, oil change is done, everything is good. Nothing, I didn't do anything. This is gonna be a funny outro. And you have my permission to leave it in. I'm a great singer, so you know, I'm not too worried. Now, I'm sure you guys want to see me drive the thing, but it's not drivable quite yet. When we pulled the engine out, I decided to cut the stock brake lines because I was gonna try to do a cool routing behind the firewall, right? And now I realize it's a lot more work than it was worth, and I'm regretting it. But yeah, I have to get some brake lines and put those in, and then needs a clutch. Then I need to put the master cylinder in, the new slave cylinder I have. I finally got a OEM slave cylinder for 130 bucks, but hopefully I don't go through one every other month. I also have to make a catch can and all the lines for that, and then mount the oil cooler and do all of that. So there's still a decent amount of work to be done before it's driving, but it's running, which is a huge milestone. We also have to put the lights and the bumper on and all that kind of stuff. But either way, I'm super happy with the fact that it's running, obviously perfect. It sounds good. There's no weird noises. The DishWorks injectors and the fuel pump are working fabulously. Huge thank you again to DishWorks for that. There's like no smoke at all through the exhaust. So this thing's already all broken in, and it's awesome. Alternator's working. Everything is working. It's working. It's working. That's awesome. Let me know what you guys think. I'm so excited to get this thing ripping on the dyno. In the next video, we will finish all the other things that we need to finish to drive it and hopefully take it on a small test drive. If you guys want to watch that video right now, you can head over to Patreon, become a patron, support the channel. If you also want to support the channel, you can check out the merch that we got now. T-shirts, stickers, air fresheners, all sorts of awesome stuff. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and goodbye.